I'm Adrian, the cruise and travel guy. Virgin Voyages is likely not returning to Australia in the foreseeable future, which means you might be entitled to a refund. Stick around to find out how. Virgin Voyages first came to Australia in December 2023. I went to Sydney's Heads to capture the moment that she entered our harbour for the first time. Their arrival was met with one of the biggest media and PR splashes that you could imagine, and that's really no surprise to anyone that knows the Virgin brand. They're very good at that. Unfortunately, the excitement of the arrival was fairly short-lived when it became obvious that the cruise line really hadn't sold that much capacity on its Australian voyages. Resilient Lady is a beautiful ship, and I was very glad to get on board 3 separate times during her first time in Australia. First for the open night, second for a trade cruise to Melbourne from Sydney, and then the third time, of course, my very first group cruise ever, the maiden commercial cruise from Australia that sailed from Melbourne. There were a couple of intrinsic issues with Virgin's launch down under. The first really had to do with the itineraries, or rather the lack of imagination with the itineraries. For a summer destination that Australia was or is during the summer months, all of the cruises were focused on the colder southern end of Australia, with nothing taking in our tropical North Queensland or our neighbouring South Pacific Islands. I made a video previously about this, so you can watch that. I've linked to it below if you want more details about why I think Virgin failed here. And I say failed because their second season for Resilient Lady was scheduled to kickstart in just a couple of months from now, the end of 2024, and span through, of course, to our 2025 summer season as well. Unfortunately, Virgin pulled the pin on that entire season, claiming the issues or conflict in the Red Sea zone was the catalyst to end Australia's Virgin relationship. Many people doubted that this was the real reason that Virgin was not going to return to Australia, and I was one of them. Instead, Resilient Lady will be routed to the much more lucrative Caribbean cruise market. So what about this refund? Well, many people on board Resilient Lady purchased one of the cruise line's My Next Voyage voucher, or MNVV. These were essentially future cruise deposits that could be purchased during a cruise, and they would come with certain perks. You could then apply that deposit to a future cruise, and those perks would be enjoyed during that voyage. At the time that these MNVVs were being sold on board Resilient Lady during this season that we just had, people expected Resilient Lady would be returning and Virgin Voyages would be returning to Australia, but that is not the case anymore. That means that if you did purchase one of these vouchers or future cruise deposits during Resilient Lady's maiden Australian cruise season, with the intention of using it on a future Resilient Lady sailing in Australia, then you are entitled to a refund. I've been told by Virgin Voyages trade support that Sailor Services, that is Virgin Voyages customer support team, have been instructed to refund MNVVs that people purchased during Resilient Lady's maiden season while she was down under. So in order to do that, you just need to contact Sailor Services and ask for a refund for your voucher. Get your voucher or booking reference number and have that handy. Contact them and explain that you were booking the MNVV, or that you did book the MNVV on board Resilient Lady, and that you will not be able to use it because the ship and the cruise line is not returning to Australia. There should be no issues in doing this. I've been told that Sailor Services have been instructed on this process. And as for Virgin Voyages' return to Australia, well, it is not likely, at least for the foreseeable future. Up until a little while ago, Valiant Lady did appear on the Sydney cruise schedule for the 25-26 summer cruise season. So that would be the cruise season that's beginning in roughly a year from now. But that is no longer the case, and special thanks to Bobby for letting me know about that change. So with the end of Resilient Lady's time down under and Valiant Lady's removal from the schedule, or any other Virgin reference from the schedule, it really doesn't look good for the future of Virgin Voyages in our market, at least in the foreseeable future. Like many others, I really enjoyed the Virgin cruise experience. It was very different and unique, and I loved that it was something very adult and very different to what we expect in the cruise market, and I think they're really onto a winner. I just hope that if they do come back into the Australian market, they do so with a much better foundation. And that foundation really needs to be connected to much better itineraries that better suit the ship and our region and I truly think what people are after in a cruise holiday. An adult cruise experience on a ship designed for summer climates, which is really what these Virgin Lady ships are, needs to embrace that. And there's really not much of a better place in the world to do that than right here. So I think there is promise, but it needs some better planning. Let me know if you jumped on board Valiant Lady while she was down under in Australia, and if you did, what you thought about it. I also have my cruise review and ship tour on the channel. I've linked to those below as well. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Head to my website, thecruiseandtravelguide.com.au, if you'd like to book a cruise on any cruise line. And you can also help support my work and channel by doing that. And you can give me a follow on Facebook and Instagram at The Cruise and Travel Guide. Thanks as always for watching, and I'll see you soon.